There are some places your parents warn you about, not because they hate them, not because they're ashamed of them, but because they survived them. This is the story of a boy who didn't listen. His name was Adrian. He grew up in the city tall buildings, streetlights that never went off, a noise that never slept. He had never once set foot in his family's ancestral village. Every time he asked about it, his parents would just change the subject. Another time, it's not safe. You wouldn't like it there. But the more they dodged his questions, the more his curiosity grew. When he turned 21, Adrian decided he was old enough to make his own decisions. He wanted to visit his grandmother, the one he only knew from short phone calls and birthday blessings. But there was something else, too. A rumor. He had overheard his father once, arguing late at night. "It's still happening," his father had whispered. His mother had replied, "That village has always been hunted. Hunted, not haunted, hunted." That one word stayed with him. Vacation came around. Adrian told his parents he was staying with his uncle in another part of the city. They were relieved, too relieved. But Adrian had already planned everything. He was taking his car, and 3 friends were coming along. Marcus, the brave one, Lena, his girlfriend, and Toby, the skeptic. They all thought it would be fun, a little rural adventure, a haunted village story to laugh about later. The village was 6 hours away. As they drove further and further from the city, the air changed. The radio signal died. Their phone bars disappeared. There were no other cars on the road, just long, silent stretches of forest. Then they saw it, a wooden sign, barely hanging on. It read, "Welcome home." Marcus laughed. Creepy, but aesthetic. But Adrian felt something tighten in his chest. Home? He'd never been here before. The houses were old, not abandoned, just watching. Windows were slightly open, curtains moving even though there was no wind. They stopped in front of his grandmother's house. She was already outside, waiting. That was the first strange thing. "How did you know we were coming?" Adrian asked. She just smiled. "You don't come to this village unnoticed." Her voice was warm, but her eyes were so tired. Inside the house, everything felt old but perfectly preserved, like time had stopped right there. That night, during dinner, his grandmother barely touched her food. Instead, she kept staring at Lena. Then she said something that made the whole room go quiet. "You shouldn't have brought her." Everyone laughed awkwardly, except her. Before bed, the grandmother gathered them. "There are rules," she said. Marcus rolled his eyes. "Don't leave the house after midnight. Don't answer if someone calls your name from outside. And if you hear knocking, ignore it." Toby smirked. Classic horror script. But the grandmother grabbed his wrist. Hard. "This village does not take visitors." Then she let go and walked to her room. At exactly 12:07 a.m., the knocking started. 3 slow, deliberate knocks on the front door. They all froze. Marcus whispered, "Someone's messing with us." Adrian checked the window. No one was there. Then Lena heard it. Her name, spoken softly from outside. "Lena." She looked at Adrian, wide-eyed. "You heard that, right?" He shook his head. He hadn't. Then the knocking moved. From the front door, to the back wall, to the roof. Like something was walking right above them. Toby tried to open the door. It wouldn't budge. It wasn't locked, just stuck. The lights flickered. Then the whisper came again. This time, all of them heard it. "Come outside," but it wasn't one voice. It was many, layered, like an echo of the dead. At 2 a.m., the noises stopped. Silence, an unnerving, heavy silence. They must have fallen asleep from sheer exhaustion. Because when Adrian woke up, Lena was gone. Her side of the bed was cold. The front door was wide open. Marcus panicked. She probably just went to pee outside. But when they looked, there were no footsteps in the dirt, just drag marks, leading toward the forest. His grandmother stood behind them. "You didn't follow the rules." Her voice had no emotion now. Adrian shouted, "Where is she?" She just looked at the forest. The village chose. Years ago, the village had made a pact. When outsiders came, the forest would take one. And in return, the village would be spared. That's why his parents left. That's why they never came back. That's why they warned him. Marcus refused to believe it. He ran into the forest, shouting Lena's name. Toby chased after him. Adrian stood frozen. His grandmother whispered, "It won't stop at one now." Screams echoed through the trees. One by one, then they were cut off, completely. When the sun rose, the forest was quiet again. No bodies, no blood. Just Adrian and his grandmother. "You should have listened," she said softly. Adrian collapsed, crying. Then something called his name. From the forest, he looked up. He could see Lena standing between the trees, smiling. "Come here." Her voice sounded normal, but her eyes were empty. He took a step forward. The grandmother didn't stop him, because she knew the village always finishes what it starts. Adrian walked into the forest and disappeared. Back in the city, their parents grew worried. Phones were off, no contact. After 3 days, they called the uncle. He said Adrian never arrived. The police were contacted, search teams sent out. But when they reached the coordinates for the village, there was nothing there. No houses, no road, no sign, just forest. Then Adrian's mother received a call from an unknown number. It was his grandmother. Her voice was trembling. "They came. I told him not to." "What happened?" his mother cried. Silence. Then the grandmother whispered, "The village is awake again." The line went dead. Police tried tracing the call. The number didn't exist. And to this day, no one has ever found Adrian or his friends. But sometimes, hikers report something strange. Deep in that forest, you can hear voices calling your name. And if you answer, the village welcomes you home. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for part 2.